Hey guys, it's me Shane. I'm here to give you another Yashahime Princess Half Demon episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 20. Right? Yes, episode 20. It's called The Hidden Village for Half Demons. Um, let's get right into this. Man, I'm sorry about how late this is getting out to you guys. Busy Saturday. But before I get right into this, I want to tell you to please hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button. We're doing our hardest here on Saturdays to give you some good content, some great reviews. So, if we remember last time, we had to deal with that dumb princess who was mad about something stupid, a waste of ink and a waste of time. But, well, we did get to see how Hisu and other demon slayers appreciate Kohaku. So, I guess not too much of a waste. I don't like characters like that princess. But today's episode, we are going to a special place. Setsuna and Towa on Kirawa, and they're going to someplace. And the funny part is, Towa's like, "So where you taking me?" And Setsuna's like, "Well, you just decided to hop on." And she's saying, "This is my dot dot dot." Before we get the intro song, and when we come back, Towa asks, "Why are they hiding in the mountains?" And Setsuna says she's just making her rounds like normal, and you know, just trying to make sure that nothing is going on. And this is the place that she was at. That was her earliest memory after the burned forest incident. To which Toa, she's like, "I'm so sorry you were alone. We were both like 4 back then. My goodness." And she goes into hug, but Sasuna stops her, not rudely. She just stops her like this and goes, "Actually, I wasn't alone. I had Lady Shiori and other demon children." And Toa's like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" And uh, she was all she did, and we get a nice little flashback. She goes, she sat there in the burned forest ruins. That's all she did. She was just kind of just sitting there, and then lo and behold, you remember An Un, the twin-headed dragon steed of Shishomaru, mostly that Ren and Jockin rode around on when Shishomaru was around. An Un came down, and Jockin was on the other side, pretending to be them, so that Setsuna didn't see him. And she was like, "Come to." He's like, "Get on board. Come to me. I'm gonna take you someplace." And I told, but Setsuna just said, "Okay." Jumps on, and he takes her to this nice little mountain area. There's a stream and everything. And I thought what was a lunch. It wasn't a lunch. It was I guess some orders or some or a letter of some sort. The thing looked like it was written on some onyx. That's how tough whatever that was looked. Because usually they have the wooden stakes that they write on in Japanese. This one looked like it was just straight metal. And when she gets there and she touches the barrier, you have these two annoying kids. I wrote their names down because they introduced themselves later. I believe one is Raita and the other one is Koita. I don't remember. I don't really care. They like, no humans are allowed here, no demons are allowed here, which is crazy. I understand why they say this later on, but I always thought, like, if you're half demon and like you're a half demon that's half human, half demon, you technically are human, you technically are a demon, so bleh. But we'll get more into that. So the whole time Sasuna's just quiet. And Lady Shiori, who is this lady behind me, she emerges and she's saying, "Oh, is this another? This looks like this might be a half demon." And the other two actually said, "We think she's a half demon." And Setsuna was told to give her what was in her hand, and it basically said, "Please watch after her, please raise her." And she said, "All right, cool. You're gonna be here with us. Welcome to your home." And Setsuna, at first, she hesitantly, but she did take her hand. Uh, you know, she already had said that she is tied to a strange destiny, and she's just this is just what she does. She takes in half demon children who are lost or lonely, and give them a place to stay and a place to be protected. She's actually a half demon from the Bat tribe, which is interesting because she has purple hair and very, I would say tan skin, but her skin color is like me. I would go as far as calling her a black character, and she kind of reminds me of basically she could be Morgan from Darkstalker's child if she had a child with a dark skinned character. It just turned out to look like that. And because she's from the Bad Tribe, she puts up barriers. No one can get through them, human, demon, or otherwise. Uh, and I was right. The character's name are Raita and Huta and Raita. And I made note because when we saw the backs of them, one has like this fork kind of thing, and the other one has this battle fan. It's a small battle fan. They're handheld. Uh, and when they asked, what happened to Sassuna's parents, she's like, I really don't know. One of them says their parents were killed by humans. The other one says their parents were killed by demons. And it's crazy because when one speaks, the other one says repeats right after what they say with one extra line. It's kind of like Pootie saying, with the one guy, it's whatever. But during the day, they gathered food. At night, they hid and tried to stay safe. She learned numbers and she learned how to read and write while she was there. And at times she would receive items from people with her. She would receive items with her name on it. Once she received the tanto, which is basically it's essentially a knife. It's like a short sword. Most samurai hold them. For samurai, they're usually used to commit seppuku if they fail or they don't want to get captured by the enemy. They just slice their bellies. But people who aren't suicidal use them just as regular knives. And the instructions on it said, "Cut the wind." And she said, for whatever reason, I followed the training. She was jumping on the trees, slashing with the blade, with the knife, cutting down limbs of trees, but at the same time just cutting the wind. And the next instruction she got was cut water. And the other was like, the other two that were with her, the ones that initially met her, they're like, is that even possible? And we get to watch her, practice cutting the water. And when she figures out figures out how to get a small line, she gets a larger line. And Setsuna tells us that humans never ventured there, but there were times where demons would come there. We get these lizard men that are just licking. They're just licking the walls of the barrier, and sometimes the persistent ones would just wait for them to come out, and it was those demons that they would have to, attack and kill. Apparently, Huta and Raita, just like their name suggests, one uses wind, one uses lightning. And Setsuna, this is how she learns Scourge of Swallows through all of her cut practice. Eventually, she actually got a fur like her father, just like she has now. She looks very much like Shishomaru with all of that. And that's probably why she was able to train so well, because she's very close to her. She's very much like her father. And we do get a scene of Shiori looking very sad that they had to kill the demons. Like she understood that, when it comes to demons, you kind of have to kill them because they're gonna persistently try to kill and eat you. But she didn't really want things to be that way. This girl, she can communicate with bats. So she had a little tiny bat and was saying, "Oh, okay, there's a lonely demon child," and she sends the bats off after communicating back with them. She was hoping maybe the lost demon child would come to the village so they can look after him. Well, after 6 years, at the beginning of 6 years, so if my math is correct, this would make Setsuna 10 at this time, 10 or 11. She was told what village she was born in. Of course, it was the village where Kaede is, and she was supposed to go back. She didn't want to go back, but Shiori had encouraged her. Shiori said, it's good to learn the societal ways of humans. Half demons can live with humans. It's not really a hard thing. Go ahead. And so she met Kaede. This is when Kaede says we get the same flashback of Kaede first meeting grown-up Setsuna. And Setsuna said there was something she learned after, chasing off bandits that were pillaging the area. She was beating these guys down. These two dudes were getting their butts whooped easily. And they called her a monster, and they're like, we got to get out of here. And she's chasing after them to kill them. And Kaede comes up and says, Setsuna, no, stop it. Don't do that. And Setsuna basically says, if you don't kill them, uh, they're gonna come back. And Kaede says, you are way too young to be to have to do something like that, to have to go and take a life. And at that time, Setsuna says, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to my half demon village. I'm gonna go back home where I belong. And Kaede didn't fight her. Just she felt she needed to go back. She went back. Lady Shiori and others, of course, they welcomed her with open arms. Shiori didn't even ask a question about it. It's just like, you know, this is where you live. This is Shiori's base. Shiori is a very good surrogate mother, if anything, to these half demon children, because it's she's not telling them you can't go anywhere. She has very good advice and very nurturing. Another secondary character, side character I love outside of Yawaragi. I'm just gonna call her Yawa because her name's long. And so, wow, right before we get our next little break, she explains that there's a demon called Gaga Gozen who knew that just like all half demons, Shori would lose her powers on a particular day. And we get this weird thing. I hate it when characters say a name and then another character that doesn't know this character just repeats it. So you get Towa going, "Ooh, Gaga Gozen." And I'm like, shut up. I don't know if anybody actually does. Like when in real life when people repeat things, like if I tell you, yeah, you got to make sure you watch out for Jimbo the muscle, and you go, okay, Jimbo the muscle. That means you're trying to register it. Her just repeating it just kind of seems like, are you in awe of the name? And oh boy, when we see this guy, I believe we've seen a character like this before. There is the Bishonen looking character, pretty boy with long hair, long blonde hair, and initially the Futon Raita thought they were samurai. Turns out Gagagozen had eaten 100 samurai. Now he wants to eat half demons. And Setsuna, who was with Shiori, she went with others to combat this threat. Basically, she said, "Yeah, my nose is better than you guys. All these guys are demons. We gotta take care of this." But unbeknownst to all of them, Hachiman and Moroku were hot on their trails. Moroku's like, "Yeah, this guy's already ate 100 samurai. I'm just gonna have to play this close and be careful." And Hachiman was like, "I don't know if fine. I'm with you." Master Moroku was just damn. That's basically his attitude. So we get a solar eclipse instead of the lunar eclipse. We get a nice little solar eclipse. I wonder if that's because she's part of the bat tribe. At night the bats will probably her have bat demon blood will probably thrive better. Never know. But I digress. Um, we do then get Shiori. Her hair goes from it's purpley white, but it goes from that purpley white to the black, and her skin goes from you know like this and tan brown skin and becomes straight white. So she just becomes, I guess, what most of them do when you're a half demon that is susceptible to this. And then her barrier just goes away. All the children who are deeper into the village, they notice the barrier go away, as well as Gaga Gozen. Well, as soon as his forces try to move in, and if I remember, I'm trying to date Setsuna. If Setsuna should be between between 11 and 12 at this time, because she was said that 3 years later, this is when this incident happened. So she should be about 13, because she's 16. She's 14 now, so she's about 12 or 13. And both her, both her and the other two, they make their attack. Rights and Foods are easily taking care of the bums, and Setsuna, she has the speed to combat this guy, but he shatters her knife, and he says that his naginata, which should look familiar to most of us who watch this show for 20 episodes, is called the Kimitsu no Tomoe. It is the naginata that typically Setsuna has. So, origin story? Yes, this is an origin story. And as this guy's about to come in and slice her, Moroku, he goes in for the attack. He tries to throw a tag, but it gets sliced. Moroku's having a hard time fighting this guy, and he ends up like kicking him back. Now, we do get the crazy thing is we get Shiori basically saying, oh, it's that monk. Like, okay, so she knows him. Pay attention to that. I'm gonna bring that up again later. And the two others, after Futon writes, after they take care of the bums, they come in and try to attack this guy, but he's knocking away the wind and the lightning and everything. And the guy does like a poison mist, which burns them. And Shiori, she's guarding them. She's putting her body in between theirs and his. And out of the mist, Setsuna, she didn't do a drop kick, but she does like a single, leg, kind of like the Power Ranger, flying jump kick. And this guy then does this web thing. And we've seen this before. It seemed like these pretty boy characters that are just so annoying with the Naginatas. Because Inuyasha went through this too with these guys with the poison mist and the poison thread and all this other craziness. So he ties her up. And he's about to go in and he says, "Alright, I'm gonna kill you last." And since she wants to put her body in the way, I'm gonna kill her first. Setsuna's blood boils and this is the first time she goes feral. She instantly this guy's like, "You're a half demon, you can't." She cuts this guy in half and then completely shreds his body with just these. And her nail streaks are green. So yeah, this guy's just meat soup now. And while the others, they cheer momentarily, but she starts turning her attention on them. And this is when Moroku, comes in between her and she wants to kill him because again, this is Pharaoh mode. Inuyasha went through it too, except Inuyasha didn't particularly remember a lot of it when he first went through this. It's kind of interesting that the younger generation, they can remember, having this weird feral experience. But I digress. Lady Shiori comes behind and is trying to hold her and trying to get her to remember. She punches her. It looks like she's about to knock her out, but then Moroku does the feudal Japan version of chloroform and gets this bag of, I guess this is something that wards off demons, but he puts it up to Setsuna's mouth and it knocks her out. And Shiori says, "You're not going to kill her or didn't kill her or anything." He's like, "No, no, no, no. It just knocked her out. Since her sense of smell is amazing, she's more susceptible to this than anybody." And Moroku says, "So I'm gonna have to use a seal to suppress her blood because apparently her blood is just too strong for her half demon body." Which initially made me go, "What?" But then I had to think as I was continuing to watch the episode, I had to think Inuyasha did have a hard time with his demon blood when it took over him. He actually needed the Tetsaiga there. So whenever the Tetsaiga was taken away from him, and he was placed in this do or die situation, he did go feral. But it's kind of crazy because Kagome was the one that was actually able to calm him down when he didn't have the Tetsaiga. And once she calmed him down, he kind of snapped out of it. This is when he had to go through his whole training thing for about 2 or 3 episodes. Really good too. But I digress. You guys probably seen it already, right? He uses the Naginata as a medium to seal her, to suppress her demon abilities, which he does the same mantra, the same chant we saw him do when we met him during his training with the whole Hisu doesn't like his dad thing, but now he understands him. And it's at this point that we get small interjections between the past and here, or maybe I'm just kind of messing up with my storytelling, but Towa says, "Okay, so that's how you got the Naginata. It's kind of like a keepsake, your prize for what you went through." And Setsuna says, "Well, it's a human made tool, but I have appreciation for it." And back in the past with our flashback, Shiori, Setsuna says she kicked her out, but Shiori explains, you don't need to hide here. You are actually strong enough that you can go off and protect yourself. And Fuso and Raita basically are agreeing with her, but she's like, "Hey, you two are going to have to leave sooner or later, too. You are getting older and stronger as well." And of course, they cry, and she already has that funny sweat drop on her head. But once Setsuna went back, she was welcome to join the Demon Slayers. When she went back to Kaede's village, she joined the Demon Slayers, and that is what you say is that. And we get Towa saying, "Man, you were really talkative today." And with the smile on her face, as soon as says, "Well, Lady Shiori had also told her there's any demon children that are lost and are troubled, to bring them there. And that's what she repeats to Towa, who puffs up her cheek and says, I'm not trouble and I'm not a child. And we get Setsuna genuinely laughing. Very wonderful to see. But then she gets serious because there are two demons, a weird bat looking demon and some juxtaposed thing with horns, are moving in towards the have demon children hidden village. Easily, Setsuna comes down, slices off both of his horns, and cuts the other's wing, one of the wings in half, and says, "Hey, if you ever come here again, I'm gonna kill you." And that's it. They run away, which shows character growth. She was willing to kill two weak humans a long time ago, and she's finally learned how to mitigate between either having to kill someone that's super weak or just not having to kill someone. A lot of character growth. And Toa basically says, "So you come here often, don't you, to patrol?" She says, "When I have spare time, I do." And they both jump back on Kirara. The whole time when she's telling the story, she's been petting Kirara, who's just been adorable. Kirara's always been the best, one of the best things from Inuyasha. And as they go off in the moonlit night, we have Lei Shiori, who's standing on the same precipice she always did during the flashback, saying, "Thank you, Setsuna." Of course, Setsuna can't hear her, but she's, thanking her. And that was our episode. Next episode is going to be The Secret of the Rainbow Pearls. Apparently, something has to do with the day the great dog demon died. And we're going to get human form Towa again. And I think Rikamaru's trying to hit on her. I don't get it. His machinations are odd. But we're going to learn a little bit about him, a little bit about the Rainbow Pearls, about his mother. And I'm pretty sure I called it 3 episodes ago. I'm pretty sure Kiramaru probably killed his mom. But we will find out next week. So, guys, that was the episode. I have to tell you this is the best episode in a long time. And it wasn't even jam-packed with action. This felt like Inuyasha. And I will explain that. Because I told you various points to pay attention to some of the stuff I was telling you. We get to see Setsuna train. She created the move Scourge of Swallows. She probably came up with the move Cyclone Burst. Don't know when she came up with that, but I would love to see the backstory behind that. It's not just Towa Narutoing her way into learning a technique that was her father's. It wasn't some haphazard thing like Moroha, where we learned who trained Moroha and how she got her blade and how she learned her technique, and she learned a new technique in that same episode. But it took the flashback of finding out what happened to the parents for we to see how she got to Koga's village. I need to see something like this with Moroha, where she meets Koga. Koga may or may not talk about Inuyasha because of jealousy, but he still respects him because he's with Kagome, and that's what Kagome would want. I would love to see more of that, even though it is very apparent that this story is focused on the twins. I would still love to see they have Moroha in there, but I need to see a little bit more for Moroha's backstory. And I need to see Towa go through some kind of training like her sister did. Her sister trained a lot between the age of 4 and 10. And it looks like she never really stopped training between 10 and 14. So, yeah, I can understand why she gets frustrated with Towa at times. This felt very much like Inuyasha because when that sad ending thing came on, it actually gave me feels. I actually had emotion. I cared about Setsuna. I'm not saying I didn't care about her before. I didn't care about her as much as I care about Moroha because Moroha has some deep struggles, some deep inner turmoil, not feeling like she belongs with anybody, not humans, not demons, not half demons. She's a quarter demon. She's a rarity, so she feels some kind of way until she got with her twin cousins. So this was great. I'm glad we didn't throw away Shirori. And actually, something I missed. I'm sorry. When Moroku was sealing Setsuna, suppressing her demon power, uh, Moroku actually knew Shirori's mother, and he asked, "How was your mother doing?" Shirori recognized him and said, "Yeah, you're Monk Moroku." And he says, "Yeah, how's your mom?" And she said, "Well, my mother succumbed to illness." And he says, "Thus is the way of humans." And he, says a little prayer uh, in honor of her mother. I love stuff like this because not only do we have a brand new character with Shiori, we're tying her to a fan favorite character from the past with Moroku. We're understanding how both of these characters affect our brand new protagonist in Setsuna. We see Setsuna's growth. Even in her telling this flashback, she's opening up to her sister about what happened to her. She's opening up about her feelings and emotions and is displaying more emotion, especially with laughing. She rarely does that, and she rarely smiles openly. 5 out of 5. I want more like this. If the next episode is just like this, where we're getting good background on these characters, interesting characters that tie into not just the current but the past, because this show's all about the past. Some really bad stuff happened even before Inuyasha was born. Some crap was going down, and now it's up to the kids of the kids to have to try to solve this issue, which they still don't, as of right now, they still don't care. But I have a feeling that they will get some motivation. So, yeah, guys, to me, this is the outside of episode 2 that we got to see the older crew, and then around episode 10 or 11 when we saw them again, and when we saw the clash between Sasomaru and Kiramaru. This has to be the best episode by far. This makes me want to continue, and I'm very happy to say that. So, guys, if you saw the episode, let me know what you thought down below. Are you happy with it? Are you happy with some of these side characters? I kind of wish Yawaragi was still alive because I would love to have like these background characters all interact together. Maybe we might see Meijibo one day again. I hope so. Uh, Again, please remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified more videos like this. I do this every Saturday for you. Hit the share button and show everybody the great reviews we're going. We're trying to get to 100 subs by March. Well, sorry, it's going to be March soon. By the end of March. So, again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you guys showing up. Again, be good and be blessed. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Black Lives Matter. Happy Black History Month. Still got some good stuff coming for you, and I will most definitely see you next time.